Okay, so I was invited to this new Xenoverse community that had popped up here alongside a couple other ones. I went ahead and clicked on this one here since I was invited to a link from a couple of people that was invited to me from Nason's stream once upon a time. The premise of this newer community focuses around including a lot of competitive-based fighters and gamers throughout one's travels for group activities or raids, or group parallel quest grinds. Whomever the creator of this arrangement may be, which I'm guessing for the most part is likely the official Goku or Goku the Legend. So for the community to kick off like you're wanting, based on the number of competitive or pendingly experienced or time-honored players here in the chat and probably expanding, I'll give my input here briefly for the community while I'm over here on Destiny 2. It's to be considered if nothing else comes of it. This is to serve as a guideline for my past experiences in managing, running, or leading a community audience, and so these tips can help in continuation of your community here in Xenoverse 2. It's generally just 3 tips that can correlate to this particular type of fighting community. So, point 1 is sensible moderators. Moderators need to be consistent, responsible, unbiased, and thorough people. Something like a neutral overseer in order to help invite newer faces and enforce the customs or guidelines of the community needed in favor of the image of the community as a whole. So you have to pick these very wisely. You have to pick these people very wisely with whom to trust and whom not to trust with that responsibility. People can't just be given these rules because they're your friends. That's a possible sign of early corruption or biased action given a window to hop into later on down the road. These people have to actually be impartial, assertive, or attentive for your community and willing to interact with those they know and don't know at all. The same can be said if you invited a person of interest or someone that a lot of people know to stir added engagement to the chat room. If the mods aren't practical, people won't be around to want to talk to anyone because there's no inviting atmosphere there. Xenoverse 2 can have a really dicey, questionable, highly rude or childish atmosphere most times for a fighting video game community, and so it doesn't need to be added to at all, needless to say. The wrong person in trying to give order may lead to a whole bunch of people in chat that don't care to want to know each other yet all happen to play the same game. Point 2 is rules. You need these for the community outline to survive. You need rules. They have to be thought out but kept practical for a fighting game chat room, clearly. People that don't follow these need to be spoken to by a moderator or kicked out as soon as possible. Say what you want about, I don't care for rules, I don't care about rules. People can do whatever they want. But this is essential because of one thing: structure. Structure is a way of organizing your life or things around you so that it makes sense to you. You have a sense of ownership, order, and organization, and a better grasp of it at that to understand its importance as well as its benefits. One of the more convenient reasons why structure is important is because it negates the need to regularly schedule your things or daily proceedings ahead of time when it's already done in a planner or outline that you made. And lastly, point 3 is consistency. Basically, being in the know of what goes on in your community. Not all day, every day, but updates here and there just to be informed. By extension, like being involved with the progression of activities. General consistency for this includes like defining the purposes of your format. Even while it generally being obvious, you might want to be ready, as there may be a question asked here or there about it naturally, or paying sufficient attention to planning in detail, sorting out people whom are and are not responsible over time, upkeep, or keeping the people themselves informed of things if things change. If a person who created the community is not or will not pay attention to it, you'll lose a following or the people there very quickly that joined on board. Outside that, it generally just goes with the flow, as this is a fighting game community, and so natural tension may happen here or there, but it's up to the people in charge or the people that are around to try to keep structure so tension doesn't become a part of the natural image. Thus, it wanes interest and it may slowly die off in the process. That's just my 2 cents on the developments of the new Xenoverse community here that came up that I'm invited to and to be a part of. You can listen to what it is I'm saying, you can choose to disregard it, but my purpose here is to help make sure the community can still stay here. And I find that these can be very effective, if not beneficial, for a community's prosperity. Take this as you will. And that's my 2 cents on it. Peace.